Welcome back, everybody. Well, that is, I guess, a pretty complimentary press corps traveling with Hillary Clinton. What do you make of that? What do you make of the way this was spun, the way it was? That in the eyes of the press, she wiped the floor with him. Many critics agree with that. But when it comes to the role of the moderator, did he help that process along? We've got the Federalist, Payton here. We've got Democratic strategist Jessica Tarloff. I'll only mention, Jessica, that Lester Holt interrupted Donald Trump no fewer than 5 times. Right. Maybe for perfectly sound reason. I generally don't have a problem with that. Then I want you to interrupt or clarify with Hillary Clinton 5 times. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously that statistic is borne out, and I've seen that all over the place.
Wait a minute, you agree with me?
Well, the numbers, right? I mean, whether I agree that Lester Holt was unfair as a moderator is a different question, but obviously, I mean, that's a fact that he did push back 5 times.
5-0.
Right, but did you take into account how many falsehoods Donald Trump said versus Hillary Clinton? And I think that's really where this debate should be about, you know, what Donald Trump is.
But if you're going to ask one guy tough questions, would it kill you to throw a few tough ones her way?
I mean, the trade question, which I actually think was the strongest point for Donald Trump, where I thought I was watching it at that point, and I thought Donald Trump is going to pull this off. She was totally on the back foot there. You know, he really made the strong argument for protecting American interests, you know, talking about what we've lost to China and Mexico and pulling up her record on it. So I thought that he was very strong off of a question from Lester Holt. And we need to also consider the fact Lester Holt didn't bring up his wall and that he's going to make Mexico pay for it. He didn't bring up banning Muslims. I mean, yes, the birther issue, systemic racism. What?
You're right. Those other issues didn't come up. But Bree, when you're looking at that, I'm perfectly fine. I know people don't like moderators in this role of having to be fact checkers. I don't think it was so much a fact checking role as much as, all right, I'm going to really dig deep into the answers you're giving me. Fine. You risk getting your own facts wrong when you do that, but fine. Then do the same with Hillary Clinton. And there's material there, too. Material on both of them. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he was cherry-picking topics that Beltway Twitter wanted him to ask. I think he asked a lot about Trump's birtherism, and he asked a lot about his ever-evolving stance on the Iraq war. But, you know, it didn't get brought up, issues that real Americans care about. Any social issue at all would have been nice to hear either of the candidates take. It would have been nice to hear Hillary Clinton defend and maybe perhaps clarify her very extreme abortion stance. And it would have been nice to talk about immigration.
All right, bottom line, was Lester Holt fair? Bree?
I think he was fair in letting the candidates let them go after one another. Okay. I thought that was kind of fun to watch. But I think that he, perhaps, I don't know if this was intentionally or not, but I think he left out a lot of topics that a lot of us really do deserve to hear about.
90 minutes. I do see your point, but what do you think? Jess?
No, I think that he was fair as well, and there were obviously topics that I'd like to be discussed. I completely agree with Bree. I'd love to talk about social issues. I think that's one of the places Hillary Clinton is incredibly strong and, you know, on track with the American public, certainly immigration, which is why I brought up the wall and banning Muslims. I mean, there's more that we needed to do, but I think that him getting out of the way and letting them go after each other was critical, but also pointing out that there are certain things that Donald Trump is saying that are just factually incorrect. And I think the American public shouldn't walk away from a debate, some of them seeing these candidates for the first time. And
I wish I would have that. I'm with you on that. But there were other things that she was factually challenged on that didn't come up.
No, he certainly could have gone further with the emails, but that's something Matt Lauer did, and the Donald Trump campaign thought Matt Lauer was a god, you know, best moderator ever, and suddenly he gets pushed back on, and now he's upset.
But if you interrupt her, that's one thing with many in the media, not so much Donald Trump. That's all I'm saying.
She was interrupted 70 times. He was interrupted far less. Granted, a lot of that was Donald Trump, and Lester Holt interrupted Trump more than he did Hillary Clinton, but I think you got to look at the content of what they're saying.
At 3 times the rate. But it is what it is.
3 times the liar?
3 times the rate.
I know. I was just, you know.
You're just being catty.
Trying to say liar.
Jessica, thank you very much. Bree, thank you very much.